Aquaman is teased at CinemaCon. Henry Cavill wants another Man of Steel. And Wonder Woman is going to the 80s. Today on DC Movie News.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's DC Movie News.
Oh, Josh, that intro music that just is not even there.
Oh, it's okay.
We have intro music, we have sound bites for segments. There we go. Well, is this our sign out?
That was the other. That's the other thing.
No. Wow.
It's okay. We'll move on.
Batmanthony not here today.
Batmanthony is out of the cave.
Batmanthony has left the cave.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to DC Movie News for today, April 26th.
Yeah.
2018.
Good year.
Good year. A lot of people, not DC, but a lot of people are excited about a little movie coming out today, tomorrow, myself included.
Are you going tonight?
I'm going tonight to see The Infinity, and I've been keeping myself really pure.
It's so good, man.
All right, that's it. That's all I want you to say.
That's all I'm saying.
I've taken myself off Twitter. I haven't had links. I've gone through internet withdrawal, as well as I'm on a juice cleanse right now, like I told you.
Yeah. Wow. Those two things at the same time must be hard.
It's weird. I'm tripping.
That's how Bostonians say it. Hard.
I was just in Boston the other day.
I saw that.
I love Boston.
You didn't even hit me up.
Oh my God. I had the best lobster roll of my life.
So good.
Neptune Oyster Bar.
Yeah.
Spewing full. Hey everybody, I'm Adam Gertler, and this lovely lady right here is the crown jewel of DC Movie News. Her name is Roxy Striar.
First time I've ever been called a lovely lady in my life.
Lovely ladies.
That
That was a little Les Mis. We do that. Jonny LoQuasto will be here soon. He's coming in hot from an audition. We'll see how that goes.
He is hot.
He's
Go
coming
Johnny.
in hot. Hey,
and he's coming full of blood because he has a big blood drive this weekend, which will empty all of his blood. Was that a weird way of phrasing that? Probably.
Yeah, full of blood. I mean, most of them are.
He is full of blood.
Most of us are full of blood. I actually
On a
saw
good day.
you and Johnny compete on the Schmodown representing the DC crew.
Yeah, representing the league.
In the free-for-all.
Yeah.
Now, I only watched the first half of it, but spoiler, does Kalinowski show up?
Kalinowski does show up. Kalinowski, I was like, listen, Kalinowski, I'm walking out. Johnny, you want me to walk you out? And he was like, no, I got to go it alone. I was like, you do you, man. You get in that space. You get in that mental space. Yeah, and he's great. He's a killer.
He's the killer. Yeah, I think we're going to be competing on DC Movie News again coming up very shortly.
Cool.
Hopefully it's after my juice cleanse because I need brain function.
Oh, it really does affect it. You like with the low carb, no carb.
Huh?
Yeah. What? Where are we?
What? Hey guys.
Are
Hey.
we talking about Infinity War?
Yeah. Okay, but there was some exciting DC movie news this week because CinemaCon happened this week. CinemaCon takes place in Las Vegas, and this is sort of an insiders convention, really. This is for distributors. This is for people who own theaters, I guess, who sell candy at the theaters. Everyone involved in the selling of the movie, in the not making movie side of the movie industry. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, but I feel like we got more released at CinemaCon this year, though, than WonderCon.
Probably. Oh yeah, definitely.
100%.
Well, because
you've got to get people excited.
CinemaCon, you need these people to buy the stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't go to have like a multiplex, right, that gets basically every movie, like near me, there's the Vista Theater, right? They'll have one movie at a time, maybe for a couple of weeks. So how they decide what theaters what movies they're going to get, they go to CinemaCon and they decide, all right, what is going to fit my market? What's going to sell well? So Warner Brothers had to show some stuff. They had to bring some stuff out.
And so they did.
The first thing I want to talk about is something that occurred just today, or a little video that came out. Not a big deal of news, nothing really surprising, but just nice to know that hope is alive. And that is, there was a little video of Mr. Henry Cavill, who plays Clark Kent / Superman in the recent DC films.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Kanye West tweeting at Trump.
No, apparently they're bros,
That's not
though.
the hope is alive?
They're bros. That's great.
Oh, Henry Cavill, Hope is Alive. I understand now.
Yeah. Oh, no. Hope is alive for a Man of Steel sequel. When Henry Cavill was approached and asked what's going on with the Man of Steel sequel, there's a little bit of video on it. Basically, what he said is, yes, very much. You got the quote?
Yeah.
Good, because I don't got it in front of me.
But I'm just curious because I want to do you proud. What voice was that we were going for?
Well, I was going to go with his sort of. I'd very much like to do a Man of Steel.
Okay, I would love to make a Man of Steel too. It all depends on everyone getting the.
He's Cockney now. You're making him,
That's what you had. They're ducks in a row.
Was it going like this? He's got to get it all do, Man of Steel.
Getting the ducks in a row and the right storytellers being attached. I have a lot of ideas. I've had a lot of discussions with certain people about certain things. In the ideal world, yeah, that would be added to the slate.
Okay, so no news there, except for the fact that Henry Cavill has some ideas.
No news is good news.
Right? I mean, he's like, I think my biceps want to be this big in the next movie. I mean,
Like
what are his
1 inch taller.
What are his ideas? I'd like to know.
I really don't know when people say they have ideas if they actually do. What does that usually mean? Like, I've got ideas could mean I thought about this while I was on the toilet, or
Yeah.
I've got ideas could mean I storyboarded an entire film.
Well, I'll tell you this. We've heard about, the Matthew Vaughn rumors, the rumors about possible Man of Steel. I believe something is developing. I believe announcement will happen. Did you guys talk about last week the Joe Manganiello interview that he did with Chris Hardwick on the Nerdist, where he kind of mentioned, same thing about Deathstroke, pretty much. But what I found really telling was at the end of that interview, where Manganiello basically said, it was like, I read these articles and people think like, oh, poor Joe, and he's like, I know everything. I'm not allowed to say anything. That to me was more telling than anything, because just the whole demeanor is
But
like.
some of them I think don't know as much as Joe does. He is more involved and is a little more successful than some of the other people
The whole idea that the Gareth Evans possibility for a Deathstroke movie was his doing.
Right.
He's the one who
I
reached
know.
out. Well, which also further goes to show when Henry Cavill's ideas and Manganiello's looking for movies, it furthers the narrative that DC has no leader over there. Because everyone's like, who wants to pitch me a movie?
Yeah.
Pitch me a DC movie.
Kathy Yang, you want one? All right. Whatever you got, give it to us. We'll take it. Spielberg? All right. That one makes sense.
Oh, my God. Well, actually, that one was really exciting. You guys
I know.
talked about that.
Yeah, we did.
That's right. It was you and Mikey. That was a Moxie show?
Hashtag Moxie.
Hashtag Moxie show.
We fought the whole time.
Did you really?
No. Moxie always bickers.
Oh, Moxie does bicker.
Moxie
That's okay.
bickers. It's all love.
It's all love. It's all love. But one
By the
exciting
way,
thing.
speaking of love, just so everybody knows, in case you only stick around for that Jay Quasto love, I think he's about like 2 minutes away. So just updating them on that.
Oh, great. Jay Quasto will be here soon, guys. Don't run away.
Yeah.
If you were just listening to us and you're like, screw this, Quasto's not here, I'm leaving, hang in there.
Yeah. With all of his blood.
But let's talk Aquaman. So James Wan gets up in front of the CinemaCon thing and he's like, still don't want to show you guys footage. Not ready yet, but Warner Brothers kind of wanted me to, so here you go. So some footage was shown. Roxy, do you have reports on what people experienced of said footage?
I shall do my best to pull them up as I can with the devices that I have been given.
Well, I will say the general news, folks, and again, very early. We've been here before. Footage is footage, but man, if it don't sound very, very positive.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
And if they are going to do a sequel, given how long the effects are taking for Aquaman, they better just like take a couple of months and go right back into it. I don't really know about that.
A couple months?
No, I'm just saying.
I think we give them 36 hours.
Well, it also could be a lot of things where they're developing technology for this Aquaman film in such a way that if they do return to the world of Aquaman, a lot of those things will already be established and you'll have certain technologies in place, one would hope.
Wow, relating this movie to Indiana Jones, Star Wars, and Lord of the Rings, those are big,
high bars.
Big words.
Well, we've heard swashbuckling, undersea, epic. I mean, I can't wait till we get a trailer for this one. So when do you think we're actually going to get a trailer?
We've talked about Comic-Con, but that being possibly too late for the initial. I mean, but it's not that far out.
Not at this point. It doesn't feel that far out. And like Juan is like, why are you rushing?
And so May is right around the corner. What's happening in May that they could do anything with? Anything in May? What's
I don't know which Warner Brothers releases are when right now.
The lack of internet, I gotta tell you.
Is it hurting you?
Yeah, let's see if I can figure this out, though. Let's see, Adam Gertler. But if it's not in May, I feel like why do it in June if you could just wait till July? Like, I feel like it's either got to be a May or a July situation.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, and if they do show a trailer before that, then at Comic-Con they'll just show more.
Well, could they release a second trailer at Comic-Con, or is that too early?
That's probably too early, but maybe a Comic-Con exclusive type thing, or some behind-the-scenes kind of things. Once again, we shall play the game. What films will be announced? Will we get this Birds of Prey film officially announced? What about the first official tease of Shazam? Because there was Shazam footage shown at CinemaCon too, but it was apparently just behind-the-scenes footage. So, excuse me, not footage, but behind-the-scenes stuff.
So, Teen Titans Go is in June. Do you think that they'll use that?
Not really
because not big enough?
No, just not the right audience. That seems weird to do an Aquaman trailer before a movie aimed at a younger audience. Seems
Other
bizarre.
than that, they've got Ocean's 8. They've got Life of the Party, which is
now
coming
Ocean's
really
8 is in July?
Ocean's 8, it seems, is in May.
It's May. So Ocean's 8 is May. Solo is May.
But that's not...
It's not Warner Brothers,
us.
but still.
That's not
still
us.
Big movies. I mean, usually they debut the trailers.
The Meg, that's a big one.
Is the Meg a big one? I mean, she means because the shark is very large, but not that it's going to be.
And in charge. It looks so good.
I actually really liked that trailer.
Was wild, yeah.
I had some jumps.
Yeah.
I had some jumps of the Meg.
Yeah, I feel you. Me too. I like the Meg.
So
maybe one of those.
Awesome.
Rooting for the Meg.
But also, it came out during this whole CinemaCon thing that Wonder Woman 2 will be set in the 80s.
Yeah. Which we had talked about for a long time. Initially, we'd gone back and forth. We had heard the 60s, we had heard World War II, but mostly what we had heard was the Cold War. We had heard the 80s. That had been something that seemed to stick. But there had been speculation about how we were going to go back again if there was a possibility about there being a Steve Trevor moment in this, and how we do that in the 80s, because there was people talking about how he would definitely be in some way, shape, or form reprising his role, which I think we mostly disagreed with on the panel. But 80s are exciting to me. I like the 80s.
I like the 80s too. They always offer really nice opportunities as far as design, and costumes,
musica.
And if it is some kind of Cold War thing, then that brings in like a sort of espionage angle, where we're gonna have an undercover Diana, which is kind of cool.
And maybe that is why she's still been in hiding for all of these years. Like, people don't even know the work she did in the 80s.
That's a good point. A lot of people point out the fact that Gal's comments and other people said, yeah, the whole 100 years thing, they're not going to tie their hands behind their backs because of things said in a continuity that they're sort of abandoning.
Fine with them retconning that if
right.
they've got to do it.
But you have a really good point that if she is working in a very undercover capacity, it doesn't mean she has to be on the grand scale, right? Or on the grand stage. Rather, like, I would not be surprised if Wonder Woman is an undercover operative.
And she's somebody who is not, she doesn't have a huge ego, so it wouldn't be like, I need to get credit for this. If she just does the job, gets in, gets out, gets on with life.
But at some point, she's got to put on her armor and her outfit and be Wonder Woman. Not the most subtle attire,
under
but
sweatpants and a sweatshirt.
Ooh, that would be interesting. Maybe that might happen.
I'm predicting it early. Give Roxy that credit, though.
Josh, I'm sorry. I'm bouncing around a lot for you, but we neglected to talk about what Jay Oliva said. Jay Oliva, who is the Warner Brothers DC animation director, he's directed lots of the films. He did The Dark Knight Returns. He's done many, many things. And a few years ago, while he was working on the Superman 75th anniversary, by the way, happy 80th to Superman. Action Comics 1000 was a very interesting read. Thank you very much to our boy Daniel Drew for picking me up an Action Comics 1000
was so cool.
While I was in Bethesda opening a doghouse. That was super sweet of you.
Yes.
So Jay Oliva said, like, listen, guys, the
tweet.
There was a couple.
Okay.
Well, so the reason he came into contact with Zack Snyder was executive producing the short, which was that brief animated Superman piece. If you haven't seen it, it's awesome. It shows like a Superman going from the 30s to the 2010s, and it's an amazing short little film. But he said while he was working on that, he got to see storyboards for part 2 of this 5-part DC epic, which was Batman v Superman And please.
So here were his tweets. This was the first one. Man of Steel was never meant to have a sequel because it was supposed to be chapter 1 of a 5-chapter story. Notice how BVS follows exactly after MOS. It looks like book 2 of Harry Potter. Then he tweeted, okay, school is in session. Back in April 2013, before Man of Steel released in June, I was tasked with doing the Superman 75 short. I met with Zach, who was the exec producer on it, and it showed me storyboards of BVS and Batman already in it. And it was a Batman from DKR.
Right.
Dark Knight Rises. So, yeah, pretty much what Adam just said summed up in tweets.
Right. So clearly, I guess what I take from this is that the first 2 films were pretty much Zach's plan, and then by the 3rd film, the train had left the station, the plane was crashing into the mountain, shit went crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm curious.
Which is what it is, and we're putting the pieces together.
What do you guys think? I mean, what do people think about this? Because to me, it leaves me conflicted. On one hand, I'm sad that if there was this grand plan, it didn't get to go through. But on the other hand...
What would that have looked like even, though?
I mean, well, it would have looked more complete. It would have looked potentially like at least a one story from beginning to end, rather than what happened.
If people don't love something, do you double down, triple down, quadruple down?
You're exactly right, Roxy, and I agree with you. At least I think that's what you're saying. Is
Yeah.
Jonny LoQuasto's in the room, everybody.
That is what I was saying.
Welcome,
Jonny
welcome.
LoQuasto.
Yes.
Twist it, baby. Twist it.
Twisting.
Twist and shout.
I think you're right. I mean, if it's one thing to have a great 5-part plan, but if people aren't buying your 5-part plan,
I think
sorry.
sometimes you have to cut and run. Although what Marvel did very well was had not the strongest phase 1, but they didn't cut and run, and they had such stronger ones moving forward because they had characters that people like, and people do seem to like the DC characters. Not to compare Marvel and DC, that pisses you guys off, but
You're absolutely right. And I don't care if it pisses them off. Of course I'm going to compare Marvel and DC. They're the distinguished competition. They're the 1 and 2. They're the Mets and the Yankees, or the Yankees and the Red Sox. I mean, like,
Kind of
come
a
on.
difficult weekend to compare the two as well.
I know. Come on. As Marvel is celebrating their 10 successful years of basically keeling it for 10 years, and we're here waiting for, DC to
Godot.
really to go.
Godot.
We're waiting for Godot.
We are waiting
So
for DC.
what have I missed so far? I'm going to get to the whole order here. It looks like we're
Do
talking
you get
Man of
internet
Steel.
right now?
Believe it or not, yeah.
Of course he
it looks
does.
like
Well,
I do.
basically, we're just talking about Jay Oliva talking about the plan. We kind of went out of order. We talked a
Okay.
little bit about Wonder Woman in the 80s because that was kind of CinemaCon stuff.
Maybe let's talk about Josh Brolin.
Okay.
Because he's a good dude.
Did we already hit Man of Steel Part 1 of 5?
Yep.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
I
what we were
found that
talking about right now.
very
I
interesting.
mean, and I guess
Why do
the
you have
thing
something to
is,
say about it?
I'm sure you guys have pretty much already covered it.
well, I think the people that really are pissed that it didn't happen like that are the people that are huge fans of Man of Steel and BVS, like Mike Kalinowski. Like, I imagine he's probably pissed about hearing something like that because whatever you think of Batman v Superman, it was Zach's vision. Or maybe it even wasn't. I mean, based on the theatrical cut versus the extended cut. And then Justice League certainly wasn't Zach's vision. But you're right. It wasn't striking a chord with audiences, so they had to move on.
And interesting how they're saying BVS was essentially the follow-up.
Right. I guess what Jay was saying is like it was never meant to be Man of Steel and Superman Part 2 and Batman Part 2. It was all meant to be one 5-part story going to BVS, going into Justice League Part 1, Justice League Part 2, and then there was a mystery 5th film. And so maybe as Zack Snyder is so want to bring people in on Vero, now that this is all not happening, I would be surprised if we didn't find out where it was going, to the chagrin of fanboys all over and fangirls that are going to be so upset at what they didn't get. Like, the epic Doomsday battle that was going to happen, or the epic, not Doomsday, Apocalypse battle that would happen.
Yeah.
On Apocalypse.
It's not going to be Part 5 parts anymore. Now it's just kind of, let's see what we can do,
Oh my gosh, I hate when Johnny's internet crushes mine. I just pulled up
It's
the link
weird
so
because
quickly
mine
for
never
him.
works here. I don't understand what's going on. I apologize.
Yeah, you're having more internet troubles than anybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, but it's good that we have him so we can talk about Josh Brolin.
Okay, so Josh Brolin, while he's in 2-for-1 Marvel movies, he's appearing in Deadpool's, he's appearing as Thanos's. We had him once as Jonah Hex, and there was a world in which Josh Brolin may have been Batman.
Yes.
Back in 2013,
Slay
he was
Queen.
up for it, possibly up for it amongst a number of actors.
Johnny, what did he say about it?
His quote is, "We indirectly talked about it, but we never got to that point because I wasn't the guy for him. I'm really glad it didn't happen. I haven't thought twice about it."
The
Him
guy
being
for
Snyder.
Oh, for Snyder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Him
Okay,
being
so
Snyder.
Okay, all right.
I picture a world in which he was the guy for Snyder, and I try to picture it, and I can't see it. I can't see him and Snyder creating.
Snyder is such a visual guy. He likes his comic book guys to look like they're comic book guys, and I think he was part aside from like Ben's star power and everything else, and his chops as an actor. He looks the part so much. You know, Henry looks the part. It would be
Yes.
Batman would be really small compared to Superman physically. It would be interesting.
But get this. This goes back to an article in 2013. It has a list of actors up for Batman being considered. You got Josh Brolin, Ryan Gosling, Matthew Good, Joe Manganiello, Richard Armitage, and Max Martini. Who's missing from that list is the guy who became Batman.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
I know everybody says it's Zach's choice, but I really think he's Warner Brothers' boy. I think Warner Brothers wanted Affleck.
You really do.
I do.
Well, it's a smart horse to back for them.
Yeah. And he's like directing movies from them, and he's going to be our Batman.
Yeah.
They're like old school studio system. Come on and just be our boy. But Brolin's career has been killing it. I mean, the guy just gets better and better, and he's doing more and more great stuff.
He also had a quote about Affleck as well, if you want to hear it.
Please.
I've never seen such a global reaction in my life. I feel for
This
him
was
truly."
about.
Sad Fleck?
Yes,
Yeah, the Batfleck, whatever you want to call it.
the outrage and
sure.
people like not wanting him anymore. Go ahead.
He said the reaction becomes so personal. It's like, F this guy, I wish he was dead. And you're like, what, dude? Seriously? This guy's just working like you are. He's doing the same thing you are. He's trying to make the best choices he can. I want him to kick ass, and I want everyone to love it and eat their words. So,
I like that he said that. I like when people stick up for each other like that. I doubt that they're even friends or no. I don't know if they have any relationship, but like it has been sad the way that everything's gone down with Ben Affleck.
I hope everybody's getting, I'm not getting superhero fatigue. I'm getting vitriol fatigue, you know? Getting hate fatigue.
Yeah.
It's the internet, man.
It's just it's exhaustive. Everybody's saying the
Je
same thing,
feel.
you know. It's just how it is. Unfortunately, it's the people that maybe don't have as much going on that just want to rail against the world, you know, about people that do have, you know, you see Ben Affleck in his mansion, and like you think you're entitled to attack the person personally because you think he has so much and everything's given to you, and like all I have is Batman, and like you're ruining it, you're ruining my childhood, and you need to get help, my friend.
Look, let's be honest. We see it even on a way smaller scale when you see some of the reactions to the Schmoes Know and how much negativity is even said on that. It's like, yo, calm down. We're just having a good time, and you guys are supposed to have a good time.
We talked about you kicking booty on Schmoes Know, just being great, Johnny.
Yeah, you were really good.
I got past one round.
Dude, I wouldn't have answered those questions. I wouldn't have done as well. And the round that you went in, where you were, like, you did great. And it was fun to watch you.
Then I fully embarrassed myself by saying it was Martin Scorsese when it was some other famous director that was obvious. Like, that answer was so bad on my part, I heard everyone in the other room audibly get angry at me.
No, it wasn't obvious. What was that? I think
I
you
don't
were not the only
remember.
person who got
But
that one.
it
Anyway.
felt good to get a couple right, and it was fun, and I had Roxy there, and that was awesome.
good.
You know.
You know, where we have been really consistent. Oh, I'm sorry. What was the Jonah Hex comment that Brolin was saying? Speaking of hate.
It was
God.
more just on not being bad. Oh, he said that, I guess we almost had...
I'm finding it right now.
He wanted Chan-wook Park to actually direct the film, but that did not happen. He was on the verge of saying yes. I think it would have turned out closer to my intention, but yeah, he didn't.
You know what's crazy about that? Jonah Hex gets made today with the same actor. Totally different film. It was just before the landscape of superhero films and comic book films was where it was.
Yeah.
Because
It did suffer from timing.
just looking at that picture of seeing him, I mean, he'd be great. The guy, I mean, he's in No Country for Old Men, which is like a great sort of
Yes,
Western,
yes.
modern neo-Western. One of my all-time favorite films. Like the guy, he's
Really?
got that. Oh, yeah. No Country? Oh, I love it. I
The
love
character's
it.
so
The one best
great.
picture, didn't it?
I think so. Yeah, that year, There Will Be Blood and No Country came out. It was one of those
I
like
think in No Country one.
magic years. Magic years.
And Jonah Hex, the character, is so awesome. I would love to see it brought back at some point.
Well, just check out Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be on
point.
Legends.
Yeah.
But you know where DC has been killing it consistently beside the comics? Animation.
Yeah.
And we are...
I thought you were gonna say TV. I was like, "You're make my dreams come soon."
We're not going there that quick. We'll get to you.
I just like TV.
But you know what can be put on your TV?
I like that segue.
direct to Blu-ray videos, such as Batman Ninja.
Yeah.
People are going crazy over Batman Ninja.
It looks awesome. Let's take a look right now at 2 minutes of Batman Ninja.
Batman Ninja.
Thank you,
What's
Batman.
happening?
Would you rather be a ninja or Batman?
Oh my God. I think.
I'd rather be a ninja
I mean,
with a better family history than Batman.
Yeah, that's true. If you sign up for being Batman, you're straight up just being like, okay.
Way less scarring.
But Batman is kind of a ninja too.
Yeah, but he's had a past.
Yeah, I don't want that
Maybe the
kind of
ninjas had a really happy life.
You think you've heard every Batman
I don't
story?
want that emotional scarring.
I
this is
promise you haven't. I wouldn't have believed it myself if I hadn't seen it with my
this
own
Ivy?
eyes.
I love this video.
Curiosity
It's like a sultry
almost
voice.
killed this cat.
Shut it down, Grog.
I love
It's
that. I love the
You're
setup.
finished. No, I'm too close. You will not interfere with my experiment this time, Batman.
Hey now.
And she said killed this cat. You don't think it was Selena?
Oh yeah, I guess it was.
Catwoman,
yeah.
don't.
Feels like he's running very slow.
Yeah. Is he about to?
We're about. What's so cool about this is not like an else. It's not that Elseworlds in the same way that Arkham Knight is. It's a time travel story.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is he about to time travel? 'Cause
Yeah.
It looks like he is.
So like he goes back to feudal Japan, I believe.
Whoa.
As many of us do
I mean,
on our lunch break.
why do you think I'm late?
You were in feudal Japan. I always
How
hate
was
when
it?
people that
It
have
didn't go
time
well.
machines are late. You're screwing up your one job you have with your time machine.
Just show up. Talk about it.
He just shows up and like,
What happened?
Wow.
is this Cranston? Who's doing the voice?
No
Yeah,
idea.
I thought so actually, but let me look.
Who's doing the Batman voice?
Oh, here we go. Roger Craig Smith.
Oh, yeah.
And then Tara Strong as Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Good God.
Oh, good.
Tara Strong.
She's something else.
Yeah.
Strong.
She liked one of my tweets a few weeks ago.
Tony Hale as the
Nice.
Joker.
Oh my God! Speaking of like tweets, did you see Jim Lee liked one of my tweets?
No.
I know. Jim Lee liked the tweet. He drew a picture of Thing, and I was like, Jim Lee, you got your Thing is real nice. Real nice. And then he tweeted
so
back
good.
and he responded. He's like, Adam, some things are better left unsaid.
You do realize we might get him on the show.
I know!
Elena Jordan almost had him. A few
Elena
weeks ago.
is working on it, so hopefully the
Wait,
man...
I'm obsessed with that interaction.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. But honestly, the picture of Thing was fire. I mean, it was so good, and
That's
it really made
awesome.
me hungry for... Thing has always been one of my favorite characters.
So y'all already discussed Wonder Woman being in the 80s.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh man, I think that's really cool.
Well, okay, please comment on it. Feel free.
Well, was this something we've already known for quite
It's
some
been
time?
rumored for a long time.
Kind of. We've talked about it before.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been rumored for a long time, but we were also talking
What
about
one song
the
do you
Chris
want to play,
Pine
Johnny?
thing. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes perfect sense for Cheetah with her character taking place in the 80s.
Oh, just the leopard print?
Yeah. I think style-wise.
So, like, Kristen
You know?
Wiig could just be wearing leopard print, and then she gets mutated into a cheetah, or cheetah print? I'm sorry.
Is she going to fight the Cold War? Are we going at the Soviets? Is
That's
that
what
what's
we were
happening?
just talking
My
about.
pitch was that she's an undercover spy of some kind.
I feel like we had a joint pitch there.
Was that a joint pitch?
Kind of.
Okay,
It's
well,
gonna
that's
be-
what we're going
wow.
with. We can get 50-50
I just want
writers
credit
credit
for
on
yeah.
it.
Johnny, you get to pick one song that plays in Wonder Woman from the 80s. What is it?
Ooh, boy.
You only have a decade to choose from.
Yeah. One song, Wonder Woman. I think at one point, if they do add a little bit of humor into it, I think She Blinded Me with Science by Thomas Dolby could actually fit.
Josh, pull it up, my friend.
Nice.
If Wonder Woman's kicking ass, it could just be one of those things where it's like, she blinded me with science, you know, and then just everyone's
Who
like,
sings it?
Thomas Dolby. Yeah, you can tell.
This is Johnny
Josh is-
LoQuasto's.
you can tell Josh.
Do you know that song too?
Yeah, you don't know it?
I don't know. I'm sure I'll know.
You'll
it.
know
Oh
it.
God, yeah.
You'll know it.
Roxy knows her.
You will know. You
I will
shall
say this:
know.
it's gonna be. I loved the first one and the time period that it was. It's gonna be hard for me to like the '80s more, but I'm excited for it. This one.
Oh yeah, this makes sense. Sure, I can see this fitting right in there.
As Cheetah comes out, bleeding from her eyeball.
But this is when we meet Kristen Wiig's character.
Yeah, this
I
could
don't
add.
know.
If there isn't any humor in the film, you could throw a little
I love it, Johnny.
Thomas Dolby in there, you know.
Zeno Hour says living on a prayer. Noel NN in the chat says ice ice baby.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Oh,
That's
if it's a
not
Cold
gonna
War.
work.
Cold War ice ice baby.
I want the song to open with Diana in Thailand and One Night in Bangkok playing.
That works.
That's a great peppy song. I just keep hearing that, and like it's in the Doghouse playlist a lot. So it's just like One Night in Bangkok and the
Senior Nerd says Tainted Love. I remember that used to
that's
play
good.
on
Tainted
Port
Love is a good
Charles,
one.
the soap opera that I watched.
Port Charles.
Tainted Love.
Wow. That's something else.
Dun, 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 dun.
Nice. I like this.
I love our
Hey.
background music.
You want to... This is silly.
Should we move
but
forward?
It's a slow news week. Obviously, we got Infinity coming out and whatnot. Someone really decided to look very deeply into one small frame of Justice League.
Dave
This is funny.
Dave looked real close, though.
I mean, here's my question, though. How do you, when you're putting this film together, how do you let that slip? You're born in 2010?
I don't know if it's a slip.
Really?
You
I
think
feel
maybe
like-
he was born in 1910 and actually got his powers like 100 years earlier and was using the Speed Force to time travel forward, but he got amnesia and didn't realize that he had those powers?
Yes.
Oh.
But don't forget,
Okay.
the ID, it says, expires on November, 18th, 2018. So, he's a young man, is the Flash.
But he was born on 2010.
Yes.
Right?
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe he made it. He
He's
BS'd it. I don't
too
know.
early. He's way too early.
Yeah,
He's too soon. He's too soon.
You're
Too
too
soon.
soon.
Reboot. That's it. That license messed up. But
Ooh, we've got a lot of great songs.
what about the Matt Reeves business? Matt Reeves still talking about Batman.
Yeah. I mean, it's happening.
Basically, he just tweeted out his. People have been asking him, "What are your favorite comics? What are your favorite Batman comics? What
Yes.
are they?" And he went on to say, "There are many. I love Year One. I have that next to my nightstand just so you guys know at all times.
Oh, that's great.
I love Year One. The Long Halloween, Dark Victory, Ego, many others.
So I didn't know what Ego was, and I looked it up, and it's the guy that did the he just passed away too, Darwin Cook.
Oh,
Like Darwin Cook wrote it, so it's all that got a very like old timey like art and feel. That looks really awesome. I never
he
heard of it
says
before.
after many others, he says Neil Adams is awesome.
Also classic 70s, very bizarre. Well, Neil Adams is was an artist, I think, but has also done some writing. I think. Am I wrong? I could be. I'm sorry, guys.
Chat
Jews
will correct
cleanse.
us if you are.
Jews cleanse.
Blame everything on that at
Yeah.
all time. And the rest of the tweet
Neil
continues.
Adams
Love
still-
the original cane finger. I could go on. And then the most important part puts an emoji smiley face, which is
What?
important.
The cane finger?
No, it's just an emoji smiley face.
Oh, that's just what he finished.
It's a smiley. Yeah.
I definitely think we're gonna have a really nice, gritty feel, gritty.
Dark and gritty.
I'd like it to
Is
be
it going
dark
to be
and gritty.
dark and gritty,
Dark
Adam?
and gritty.
I think that's about the only option there is.
I mean, but with Matt Reeves, you know, at first I was thinking like, oh, this is not going to be a CGI heavy Batman film. But then I'm like, this is the guy that just directed some of the best CGI filled movies in the Apes film. So like, if you're going to put Clayface in a film,
God, those movies
Give
were
it to Matt
so
Reeves.
good.
yeah, I think they're so
God,
good.
they're so good.
I was talking the other day and was like, for me, it's not even a question. Like, I actively don't like the original Planet of the Apes films.
Oh, I love them.
People could not even believe I was saying that. I'm like, there's
I
no
love
question. I
them.
hate them all.
so mad at you.
I like the original with Charlton Heston.
You're
It's
talking
okay.
the way back in the day ones.
Yeah, and then
Oh, yeah.
and then Tim Burton ruined my childhood by just like breaking his streak. I thought Tim Burton only made incredible movies, and then I saw that Apes film, and like it all ended there. So I don't know, but I can't wait for a Matt Reeves update. Do you think we'll get one at Comic-Con?
I think we're so far out. Not from Comic-Con, but from Matt
I
Reeves.
think between Aquaman trailer and between something probably teaserish with Shazam, I doubt we're going to get a Batman.
We're so far out from it. I mean, so far out.
From Batman? I think you meant-
Yes.
Or Comic-Con's.
Not
3
Comic-Con.
months.
Probably
Batman.
going to start shooting next
Yo,
year.
what's your housing situation for this year?
What do you mean?
We can talk off air.
Oh, for like Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I have nothing yet.
It's so messed up this year.
Really hard?
Oh,
Why is that?
just, but the lottery is brutal.
Yeah.
A little
well,
insider baseball right now.
I don't even
Maybe
know.
you guys at home agree.
If I have a way to get in again, I probably don't. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, don't really care. been there, done it a couple of times. I'd be happy to go back, but if I'm not working, if I don't have like the in and the juice, not dealing with it.
Is the in and the juice similar to the gin and juice?
Well, if I have the in and the juice, I'll be drinking the gin and the juice.
Sipping
but like,
on
I'm not gonna
in
go
and juice.
and fight the crowds, and not like, anything against that. It's like I've done it enough before. Let somebody else get in there.
It's a lot. It's even when you do have a kind of a hookup, it's still a lot to handle down there. And you know, it'd be great if we can get our show in there somehow.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It hasn't happened yet.
But finally, in the world of movie news, we did want to talk about Joss Whedon.
Mr. Whedon himself.
Mr. Whedon opened up a little bit more about his leaving Batgirl.
I got you. Here's what he said. I don't know which parts people didn't like, but I went and reread the script after I heard there was a backlash. I think it's great. And people say that it's not woke enough. I think they're not looking at the big picture. It's easy to take one phrase out of context. That is not referring to his Batgirl script. That was referring to his Wonder Woman script. Just so
right.
You know.
Okay.
He wrote
right.
a pitch in 2006.
Oh, sorry, on his unmade Wonder Woman script. I'm sorry, I was conflating that with when he opened up about Batgirl. But yes. Okay.
Yeah, he wrote a pitch back in 2006.
Right, which was notoriously bad. And did you guys talk last week about what he said about Batgirl?
What did he say?
Well,
Probably.
he just kind of opened up more about the fact that we was like, it wasn't that I didn't have a story. It's just that a lot has happened between then. He was really inferring that with everything that has happened with Weinstein and Me Too and the landscape of the world changing, on top of the things that have been alluded probably about his own personal life, the message was clear to me that he was not the guy to make that film, and his story was perhaps not the right story.
Interesting.
And it was only a little bit after he like pulled out that a female creator was placed on the job. So I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see Joss Whedon coming around to the DC world anytime soon. But
the other thing he said about the Wonder Woman script, because he was addressing the criticisms that his script wasn't as empowering as the one that was used in Wonder Woman, is not that I was the most woke individual who ever lived 10 years ago, but I was in there swinging, and the movie has integrity.
I mean, at this point, comparing to what Patty Jenkins did, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, she made it as empowering as possible.
But it's a script.
Right.
He's talking about the script.
But I never read the script. Have you read the script? I know people have read it. It's
Yeah,
out there. People give it hell, but I haven't read it. But anyway, more. It's time.
And he doesn't know.
He has no idea.
Josh,
we're teeing you up for the
it's time
TV
for
time
TV
theme,
time.
and you have no idea what's going on.
There we go.
Whoa!
Damn! Josh on point.
That is
Thank
so
you.
true. And he also is just like continuing to crush Doghouse for the win. I was craving Doghouse so badly this week. Oh my God. I don't know why I couldn't get myself over there.
What are you doing in Maryland, by the way?
We just opened one in Bethesda, Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where Daniel Drew came.
Yeah, Fang came out, yeah.
All right, let's talk about TV time stuff. There, as the season is coming to a close, there is not as much news on casting and whatnot, obviously, because we're not casting shows. But we are done with Black Lightning now, officially. We are done with Legends officially for the year, which means we have Flash, Supergirl. We're done with Gotham, I believe, as well. So we've got Flash, we've got Supergirl, Arrow, which airs Thursday nights. So that would be tonight, and Lucifer. Of those 3 shows, I will say that I think that, of those 4 shows, I would say 3 of the 4 are killing it. Arrow being the one that just has lost me. I still watch, but gosh. Flash was really, really strong this week. Same thing with Supergirl. Lucifer's my favorite.
Wow.
One of these days. Oh, and iZombie, too. I really like iZombie. But
Have they made a decision about iZombie coming back yet?
yeah, it's getting picked up.
It's getting picked up.
They
Wow.
all got picked up. Legends got picked up. Flash, Arrow, they all got picked up. iZombie, I think so.
Okay.
I could be lying, but I'm pretty positive.
And we should get some Titans news soon. That's one thing I bet at Comic-Con. I bet people will have seen Titans.
Yeah, maybe.
That Titans pilot, I bet, is going to be going around Comic-Con.
Yeah, that would be something that I would be interested in partaking in.
Yeah. Partaking in?
Yeah, I just would like to.
Oh.
I'm just putting it out there in
Okay,
case anybody's
just putting it out
listening.
there.
Thank you, Xavier Jones in the chat, who says Gotham returns next week, and that they're just taking a break. I was surprised with some of the moves that Lucifer made this week, because we've got this whole Cain storyline. I've told you guys about Cain and Abel, but just Cain.
Sure.
Wow, it gets really dark on that show.
Well, I would hope
Like
so.
gouge your eyes out dark.
It's about the devil.
Yeah.
It needs to be
Yeah,
dark.
but
I mean,
it's network.
I watched the pilot, and he was very charming, and it was kind of lighthearted. But
Yes,
at
he
some
is.
point, I'm pleasantly surprised it's going so strong because when I first saw the pilot, I was like, I don't know how this is gonna survive, and yet here they are, pretty deep in season 2, right? Yeah. So hey,
2 or 3?
Three, I
It's
think,
3.
yeah.
Season 3.
what?
I think
so,
we're on 3.
yeah.
Are you kidding me?
It's so hard to remember anymore.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, and Sky Patterson says that he adores Krypton. That one lost me real quick.
Did it really?
I'm going to get back into it. I know Bat Anthony does the show for AfterBuzz TV. The
I'm
after
about
show.
to. I watched the first 2 on Krypton. And
I
I've just
did
been,
too. I watched the
I've
first
just been
2.
on the road for 2 weeks, so I need to. I have a bunch of cluster shows that I need to just start like binging, and Krypton has like the least. It's got like 3 to watch, so I want to do that. But like Legion has been killing it so much. Like that's. I mean,
I watched
Legion
the pilot
is so
of,
good. Did you watch this week's?
I watched the Krypton pilot and I dug it. I thought it was cool. And,
Yeah.
It's fine.
When the doctor showed up, I thought that was neat and everything. But there's so much TV.
Yeah, there is a lot. The Dork Knight 23. This is not TV related
What up, Joe?
anymore.
Hey, the Dork
says
Knight, Joey
anyone from DC Movie News fans going to the blood drive at Children's Hospital in Los Angeles. There's some spots left if you're in the LA area. Johnny.
That's my boy Joey Colon, the Dork Knight, also a very
Nice.
talented barber and hairstylist, and he will be donating blood this weekend. Yeah.
nice.
guy.
Guys, get
cool.
out there and do it, please. What else? What else is happening in the world of DC
I mean,
TV?
somebody is saying that we forgot to talk about Shazam casting news. So
Oh right, yeah. There was a couple of other actors added to the Shazam cast that people are rumored to believe the Marvel family. And to get back to that, what Sandberg
Adam
said.
Brody and Ross Butler might join the cast. This is the most recent update that I've got here.
And we didn't talk about the fact that David F. Sandberg talked about the lighter, family-friendly DC tone that they were establishing with Shazam.
I
with
still
Shazam.
keep forgetting about Shazam, even though we talk about it
Yeah.
every week. It keeps slipping my
They're
mind.
busy.
And we
in the
know that,
movie.
but he basically Sandberg got up at CinemaCon when they showed the behind-the-scenes footage, and they were saying they were establishing this family-friendly Shazam, which is, part of the reason maybe it's under New Line. But listen, we all know that's the way it's going, and I hope it's going to be a great one. It could be family-friendly and be awesome. Speaking of which, have you seen Lost in Space on Netflix?
No, I haven't yet.
People have been raving about it.
I'm going nuts over it.
Wow.
I'm straight binging it. Like, I never watched the original. It's so good. It looks
Original-
cinematic.
What decade are we? Was it 80s?
I think 50s,
No, before
60s.
60s,
Way
I think,
before.
yeah.
Lost in Space. That's all I
Very
know.
long.
Maybe, yeah. Well, anyway.
Right when I was
Lost
coming
in
out of the
Space.
womb.
So, question. You've already seen in the 50s?
Yep.
Wow, you're aging so well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
use
it's doing
really
really
good
well.
Thank you
face
so
cream.
much.
So
So
much.
you've seen, we have a couple extra minutes. You've seen Infinity
talked
War.
about
No, we're not going to talk about Infinity War.
You've seen it too?
No, I have
We
not.
have no extra
I'm going in
minutes.
a few hours, and I've managed to keep myself pure.
Okay,
Get us out of here.
Can I say this?
I'd really like to stop you from saying anything.
I didn't see anything.
Okay.
I was
What do you
going to
wanna
say, I watched the Venom trailer.
Okay. Oh,
And I'll say this.
What show are you on?
yeah.
I don't know. We're done with, I don't know. What else is there to talk about on DC?
Just wrap the show,
All right.
my man.
What did you
I
want to
guess we
say?
can
What
wrap
did you want
I
to
was
say
just
about
gonna
Venom?
am I the only person that thinks Tom Hardy struggles with a lot of dialogue? I think
No,
that's
I
why,
love him.
I think that's why Mad Max was so good. He didn't
Oh,
talk
that
a whole
he
lot.
honestly, my girlfriend when she sees Tom Hardy on the screen, she makes audible noises.
I
that
believe
I'm not
him more
comfortable
as
with at
Venom
all.
than I do as a reporter.
Is it like,
let's put it
ugh,
that way.
ugh?
No,
ugh?
she's like,
It's just, I watch the trailer when I hear him go, I'm a reporter. No, you're
Nah,
not.
Mike, that's not okay.
I don't believe you as a reporter at all.
What do you mean? Reporters don't have to talk. He's a writer. He's not a speaker. He's not an anchor.
Okay, all right.
That's who he should be. He just writes.
I'm a reporter. I do a lot of push-ups too.
He does a lot of push-ups.
That's fine.
Anyway,
Noise.
can't wait to be done from
What are
him.
you
Yeah,
doing?
that's
I'm
Laura,
being his
my girlfriend,
girlfriend.
whenever Tom Hardy's on screen. Stop it! I'm right here.
Okay. Adam, can you sign us off?
Yeah, it's
Hey
a slow,
everybody!
slow week, huh?
It's been great. It was good. Well, it felt slow because you were here. Hey, slow down. No.
yet.
Everybody, put yourself over. Jonny LoQuasto, where can people find you?
Thanks, Adam.
Sure.
At Jay Quasto, the blood drive. If you're in the greater Los Angeles area, tomorrow and Saturday, you could sign up. We still have appointments left. We'd love to see you give blood, save a life. And also, I'm in San Diego Friday night. I have a show at the Tipsy Crow. If you're in San Diego, I'll tell you how to get tickets. And then next week, I'm in Sacramento, Thursday, Friday at the Punchline. And then the Peppermill Casino in Reno and on Saturday. And then Cobb's Comedy Club in San Francisco on Sunday.
Reno's an interesting spot, my man.
Oh, yeah.
That is.
Yeah, there's some unique humans there.
I've heard. I've heard.
I'm excited for you. I'm Roxy Striar. You can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar. Also, if you want to hear more about my TV breakdowns for not just DC, but also Marvel, so that's where we get to talk Legion.
Yeah.
Then join us on Only Stupid Answers every Friday.
Oh, are you part of the squad now?
Squad.
Like every week?
Is that here?
No. That's the name of the network is Only Stupid Answers.
Oh, cool.
Where we do our superhero TV showdown, and we talk about all of the Marvel, DC TV shows, which is awesome, with Sam Basher and DJ Woldridge, who actually came and guested on a DC Movie News episode. My overalls are coming off.
I messaged Sam
nice.
last week when y'all were gone, but
great.
unfortunately he couldn't do it. But yeah.
Hey guys, I apologize. I was a little out of it today. I'm on a juice cleanse. I'm not quite functioning properly, but please join me on FX this Sunday, I believe, for Superhero Sunday. We're going to be showing a bunch of Marvel movies, and I'm doing a little bit to tie that together. And then on May 27th, we can announce officially I'm going to be on Food Network's Comeback Kitchen. I'm going to be making my comeback. I was on Food Network Star 10 years ago,
Whoa.
and I'm going for the 10-year comeback to come back and finish what I started. We'll see you next time on DC Movie News.
Can't wait.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.